Good day, team. Today we are going to discuss about how are we going to leverage Amazon Q with the no-touch code of migrating from simple SOAP application running on legacy 1.8 version of Java to the latest version. That is we are taking into the two part. First part, we are first converting the SOAP operation to the REST API. This is the code we have currently. If you look at it, we have source demo. Under that, you have a demo application test Java. It's a simple Java application. It's a demo application. And then we have under the source, we have that complete information is there. So 1 minute. Okay. So we have all the WSDL file, XST file is here. This is a simple XST files we have. So we are going to take this SOAP application and converting in the REST API. All we are going to do is we are not going to make any code change. We are not writing or modifying any code. We are going to use Amazon Q, leveraging the Amazon Q agents, different agent, and we are going to leverage the Amazon Q. Let me start with the first task. This is the code we have. All good. This README was created by me. And you know what step I have followed? This is a very simple step I have followed. Let me go to the Amazon queue. I have went to this. I created a slash docs. A minute. Okay. End session. So if you go click on it, you can always click on slash docs. If you click on doc and you can say create a README application, it automatically discover your GitHub, whatever the code you have here, and automatically give you what is the structure of your code. Okay. So this is a README file. If you go, so it will give you as a complete instruction. This is the repository structure, and you can see the SOAP endpoint implementation and web services configuration, and also you have a XST file wherever we have the schema structure file that is also there. And I can start. You can see this is I've just run the Maven clean install, and I'm going to run this. So if I run this, you can see run this. Oh, now you can see it is started. Then we are going to validate the endpoint. So we are going to validate the endpoint. Look at this. This is good. So this is what we are getting as a response. So response, and we are going to completely convert this into the REST API. How are we going to do followers? The problem most of the people try to use any AI assistant, code assistant like Amazon Q. They just simply write everything in a single prompt and expect, can you convert my code to the uh, SOAP to REST API? That doesn't work out. Okay. So you need to go in an iterative fashion. Okay. So that's what I'm going to show you today. So I'm not, as I mentioned, I try not to code anything. So here it is. It is first understanding the SOAP operation. First, we need to understand what it is doing. So I am going to take my WSDL file. This is my WSDL. Where is my WSDL file? This is the WSDL file. I'm copying it and I'm updating here. And I say, first understanding this SOAP operation. Mm, and I'm clearly telling in a chat, you are going to help me on it. So what we are trying is we are understanding the input. Let me take out. Identify the operation name, input, output, endpoint structure, and the simply I want that in a plain language. It's like we are understanding what current SOAP operation, if somebody created this code and it was sitting there in a system for a long time, you want to convert to the REST API. First, you want to understand the code and how the response is going to be look like. So this is a response I got. Okay, so it's clearly mentioning. Let me help you analyze this option. So it is the simple stock price lookup operation. It accepts the stock symbol as an input and return the current price for that stock. For example, if you put Amazon, it is going to give you the Amazon stock. Okay. And this is a get API call if you want to use in a JSON file. And this is a response. It will get 200 or 404 or 400 error. Okay. So this is what the complete response is going to be in this format. So good. So we are not making any code. Till we are not making any code, we are making any changes. We are just understanding the code. Still, you can see my code. It is a plain old one. Let me come here now. Generate the REST API design. Okay. Now I'm going to say add file or add folder, uh, my source. Now that we have understood the SOAP operation, help me design equivalent REST API. Here, what am I going to do is I'm going to select at dev. Dev, okay, at src. So I'm using the agent called /dev, and we have understood the SOAP API operation. Now I'm asking you, give me the appropriate code for each response. Okay. So here we are creating the design. Even here, if you truly speaking, we don't need any kind of refactor. Okay. So we can just avoid the refactor. We can do it in a single prompt, but I want to first understood what kind of design is going to be look like, what method is needed, and whether how the endpoint path is going to look like if you have multiple nested JSON, XML file or XST file, how it is going to be look like. Okay. So it need only the get call. Okay. And it just try to create a test cases. Okay. This is the what I want to explain. So when we are try to do the refactoring to any kind of version or anything, it's always better to, we already embedded the business logic. Okay. Always better to do the test driven approach. So we know what to be tested. So we can properly test while we are going from SOAP to REST or one version to another version. Now I'm going to refactor. Okay. Help me refactor this service logic. Okay. If you see, this is a decide. It's a stateless and cacheable, and it is using HTTP method. And if you look at it, so it will give you all the test cases, whatever we asked as part of our activity. This is what we suggest the appropriate status code and error response, and it will give you the sample one. And there is, I think I want to check the REST endpoint path. See, this is the REST is endpoint path. So it given all the request we have. Now we are going to take the next step or refactoring. Okay. So rewrite the or adjust this logic to remove the SOAP specific dependency and make it as a REST controller. So if you, this is what we want to do. Before that, I want to show you in README, people who may not done anything on a SOAP, this is how a data flow it look like. So you will have a XML or SOAP request, and the SOAP HTTP will do the validation, request validation. Then we have a business logic where the stop, and then we get a response. Okay. So we will, I would say, take a copy of this file because a lot of things going to change. Okay. Okay. Copy of this file. Rename. I'll tell you why we end up in creating one more soap. Okay. Okay, good. So let's good. Come here again. Sorry for changing this context, just for understanding I'm doing it. /dev. And this is the prompt I want to use. Help me refactor at folder and Add add folder, where is SRC, SRC? Okay, we can keep it source main folder itself. It's okay. So do it and enter. Now we are going to invoke the agent. Look at this from the chat. This is what the chat we are using. The moment we say agent, it is going to take so much time. So it easily take 3 to 4 minutes. It will completely analyze, and it's like having a expert developer who will refactoring your code. Okay, so this agent is doing this task. Okay, the dev agent is going to do this task. Okay. So I'm refactoring this code. Let it run now. So people who don't know what is Amazon Q developer agent, I recommend I'll put it in this information. So we have slash dev. Okay, it's where it will create a code for it. Okay, and we have a slash test to create a test case, and it do the code review, and it do the doc. Okay, so let's create. It's a development feature, so let's create it to the created. Still it is creating. You see, this is it will keep reviewing it. So the files used, it is checking all the files and seeing what need to be changed. And you can see then it take all our prompt what we are explaining, okay, and then review this in iterative manner. That's what the agent is going to do, right? Whatever the task you are assigning, it will make a decision in autonomous manner and going in a loop and execute on behalf of us. Okay. So it is created the new file, and you can see finally it will change a few files and then yeah, change it one file and it deleted. Okay. So then we'll have a insert cursor. If you just say insert cursor, it automatically insert everything. So it is going to take some time. I'm gonna pause it for a few minutes. Then the next step, we are going to create a REST controller. Then we do the validation and then document the REST API where it will create a new README file. Um, and finally, we create a README file with the validation step and finish it off. That's what we are going to do. Uh, I will wait for a few more minutes. So it's reviewed, created, changed. I think it's almost done. So wait for a few minutes. So I created a new branch so we can have a separate pull request so we can compare whatever the code generated by the Amazon queue against what we have as a baseline in a GitHub. I'm gonna put this GitHub also so you can review this GitHub. It's taking so much time more than what I expected, but it will evaluate completely and give us a working code. Okay, let me pause for some time before it resumes. This is what you can see. It's completely made a changes. It added 4 files here and it created a new folder and it created a one folder for exception. And it is asking, can we accept all the changes? So after evaluating everything, all I will do is accepting all the changes. Okay. And it asks, do you have any other task, next task? Okay. I want to check what is the next test step we want to do. I want to create a risk controller. Okay. Now help me with the risk controller for the risk sequence operation. Use Spring Boot style and include request mapping, request body parsing, response building, and exceptional handling. Okay. This should call the refactor service logic. We have created a service logic above. So I'm going to tell this. So again, it is going to use the uh, slash dev agent. If we are in a slash dev agent, and it is going to generate the code. It will take another 2 to 3 minutes to generate the code. Meantime, I'm going to pass for some time. Okay, finally the changes made. If you look at it, it changed only one file. It reviewed all the file, but it made the changes to only one file. And that file is under, yeah, controller is the file. It is updated. So I'm saying accept all the changes. Still, I'm not made any changes at my code. So we have created so far, we create refactor our service logic. We created a risk controller and route. Now we are going to create a validation and test. Okay, let's go with the step 5. Yes, I have one other task. Okay, if I do that, it will again start validating all our. It is going to add one more file for the test case, one more folder where it will be keep creating all the test cases. Let us wait for another 1 or 2 minutes and see how it is faring well. So I made a changes, and what happened? It reviewed all the files and it find out created a two file, one under the controller for the test Java and strategy. And if we go here now, still the file is not built. I'm gonna go for the queue. Let's queue. Okay, queue and say accept all the changes. And once you have finished all the thing, what you have to do is you can say generate uh, a file to build code. So it will take few minutes and it to updating the code. Give us 2 minutes, it will update the code. So I have made the changes, all the files was created. Now let us go for the next prompt I want to test. So we can document as a REST API for the OpenAPI Swagger kind of spec, but I prefer to skip this and update the help me file where I want to see how to validate the REST endpoint. Okay. So let us go to the chat and ask help me update the README file is include the REST endpoint and validation step. So this README file is going to be changed. So that's why I want to take a backup of this. Okay, so it give you the simple steps. So let us stop this. Let us stop this. Let us get the updated code. So it give you all the response header and everything. So reading the existing content remain the same. Okay, this inserted a cursor. Okay, you can think like that, or I can do this. Doc, say, create a README. Okay, I want to create a README. It is updating it, scanning source file, generating a documentation. So first we have created the SOAP, whatever the a Java 1.8 application, which was running under the SOAP. We have first taken that and we started with the README. Then we have went through the multiple iteration. Okay, we first did a discover, and then we generated the API design, how it is going to look like. Then we created, in this, we have given how what kind of test cases need to be there, everything. Then we refactor the service layer, and then we have created a REST controller for the route. Finally, we have um, created a validation script. Then again, we are creating a README file, how the README file is going to be. So far, I have not touched any of single line of the code. All we are doing is just validating it, okay? So if you want, this is how it is going to look like. If I go, I have one more window, Spring Java, okay. So this is the file. You can see this one I tested it before. So I can see the endpoint model. So, and it created the test file, everything. Once you're done, this is what it will create. So by time, this is what we are doing here. So it's a Spring Boot SOAP-based web services. That's a response we got it. This is a structure we have, and this is the structure we have now. Okay, so after this is a usage instruction. So where am I looking at? Oh, this file is confusing. This is a SOAP based, this is a README. Okay, so I get confusing with this. Oh, open preview. So now you can see the RESTful API, how to validate the RESTful API they have given. Here is given, this is a structure. You go, this is a structure of the old README file. Let me save this old README file for our reference. File, save as README hyphen soap.md so that we can have a nice preview rather than this MD5. Okay, open the slide. Okay. Okay, so this is Spring Boot. This is the REST API. Now they have given you the validation. Why is this opening like this? I just want to have a preview. Okay, here it is. This is the REST API one. Sorry, I think keep confusing. It's supposed to come as a preview. Open preview. Open preview. Okay, now we have both of them. Clear. If I'm opening one as a preview, another one is not me. Open preview. Okay, you have only one preview here. Sorry. So this is a REST API. It is saying the validation. If I go and run this curl call in a browser, you can see the response in a REST API format, company API price. If you are giving a different payload, but just to want to get the price of it for the different company, you can get it. And if you want to do the wrong API call, take an example of this, the 400, which is not payload is not there. So you can get a company name empty cannot be empty. So it's all the test cases we have done is also there. So here the complete different flow, the client request comes, then we have a controller where we have a stock price, we have exposing as a service, and we are getting a response to the client. Okay. So this is how we are refactoring the code. I not even touched a single line of the code. And what I will do is I will give you the prompt, um, and then I will update the GitHub file with the prompt.md. Okay, I can put it right away. So what I can do is I can create here itself, create new file, prompt.md. So I can update the steps here. Good. So this one I update to the GitHub. So you can have a look at it. Thanks for joining this session. Happy to discuss few more use case. The next use case we are going to do is how to refactor the 1.8 version. If you go, this is a 1.8 version we have. Java hyphen version. It is a 1.8 version. I'm going to convert to the 21 or 23 and going to do some testing. Thanks, guys. Thanks for stay tuned. Have a great day.